I've been asked some wild things in my years of interpreting and following on from the ridiculous serious questions. Today, I focusing on sharing ridiculous questions that I have been asked throughout my careers that had made me go, hmm, did you just ask that? Oh, so yeah, let's dive in. So I've got my notes here of uh the ones that yeah. Like, what the? First off, so I'm a sign language interpreter, British sign language interpreter. So, yeah, it will be mainly inter sign related kind of like thing. Maybe I can do another series that colleagues of other spoken languages have shared or other interpreters have shared with me or I've read up somewhere. Um, so the first ridiculous question someone has asked me, and sometimes the weird bit is sometimes in the presence of the deaf person while they're there, and they're asking me this question. But this one was kind of like, I think we were like waiting on a client, and they asked, "Can deaf people drive?" Like, okay, it's a fair question, but it's still ridiculous. Like, it's just, if anything, they're heightened in their visual sense. Um, because it's ridiculous because one, driving is a visual thing. It's you don't need to hear per se to be able to drive. And they have the more visual aware when they're driving. So why, you know, I think that deaf people can't drive. I don't get this. Anyway, let me know at the end, like which one do you found like really? Someone asked that? Like, or if you have even a much better ridiculous one. So the second thing someone asked me um during work or whatever is like, if I whisper, would they still understand? Like, how weird. Like, seriously, how this was in like a medical setting, and I work with sign language people, deaf people. Yes, there are deaf people who are oral, that lip read, or deaf people who are hard of hearing, who can still hear. But like, help me make sense of this. If I whisper, like, what you like, really? Wait. To me, it was ridiculous. Like, why would you ask me that? Like, if I whisper, would they hear me? Because volume has nothing to do with anything. We're like waving hands here. Okay, the third ridiculous. I've got about 10 that I just remembered and I've jotted down. Number three, do they understand time? Like, someone actually asked me that. Like, we were waiting on this client. They hadn't arrived. And they just, I'm like, do they understand time? He's like asking a Nigerian, do you understand time? Like we have our own time scale. But seriously, would they like would they understand next? Like where did he understand the appointment? And there's another one that fits into this. Like even hearing people, there are some people who still don't get time. So they'll be like, it's like saying that they're bad people in one kind of people, but not in another. It's like in every country situation, you always find a good and a bad. Like, do you understand? So obviously, there might be some deaf people that don't do understand time, but generalizing and saying, do they understand time? It's like, come on now, seriously, how ridiculous is that? It wasn't as if they were specifically asked talking about one person. It's like, do they on like, yeah, to me, ridiculous because language access has nothing to do with their cognitive ability. It's just, it's like, oh my goodness. Anyway, the next question, well, ridiculous question I've been asked in my career is embrace yourself. Because this one, I was like, can you explain it? So it's like, when you're like, sometimes when people like would say, can you tell them? And like, I always like, so you tell and I'll sign what you say. And I always give that line. But this one kind of like threw me off because it was more. Can you just explain to them in English? They now added the word English. And I'm like, oh my goodness. It threw me off because normally when they say, can you explain to them? And I'll be like, yeah, you just go ahead and just tell them and I'll interpret. Like, but when I just said in English, ah, to me it was ridiculous. I do British Sign Language. British Sign Language is not English. Ugh. They don't process it in English. It has its own different structure. Oh my goodness. So that one threw me off. I just thought like, did you just say that? Like, really? Okay. Oh yeah. They get good, I tell you. So the next ridiculous question somebody has asked me was, so who taught them sign language? To me, it's ridiculous. It's like I understand that common sense is not common practice, but like asking who taught um they grew up in the language community. It's their own language. It's like asking a baby. I don't know, like who taught you like how did you learn to speak? You were around your mama and your papa, and they were waving like they were saying words, and then you picked up the words, and okay, now you went to school to like improve. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, to me, it was ridiculous because it's not like a rare secret skill that there is. It's like the environment you're in would teach you that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Let me know which one you think isn't ridiculous in the comments as well. Like when I was asked, I just felt, nah, you didn't. You didn't. Like, I mean, I responded, but it just didn't make sense. Okay. Number six, the next ridiculous question someone asked me is like, are they allowed to live on their own? It's like saying that blind people are allowed to live. Like, yes, yes, they are. Gosh. Oh yeah, it's been asked. It's like saying deaf is it's like associated by being incapable, or if you're deaf, that means you're incapable. Like how? Like help me explain that. Like deaf means you have to be supervised adult. Like it's not always the case. No. It's yeah, it's one of those ones that yes, they can live on their own. Yes, they do raise babies. Yes, they are married. Yes, they do what here people do, except not here, right? So to me, it was ridiculous. Um, yeah, there was like some of the like ridiculous questions that is the one that they're talking around them. Oh yeah, you think they will like, and like they're there, and you're talking as if they're not there. So to me, I just find that really ridiculous that people are like speaking about someone in that sense or asking question about them while they're there. Another ridiculous question that I get asked often is, do you think they actually understand that? Like, again, you could say, yeah, there's some like value, like, yes, and depending on what it is, like, if they're nodding at you, right? If they're following the questions you're answering, isn't that indicated that they understand what you're saying? So why are you then saying, do you actually think they're responding to you? So that means they understand, right? So to me, it's just like, why are you asking me that like question? Why don't you ask them, do you understand what I'm saying to you? Then asking me like, do you think they actually understand? Um, weird. Weird, 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 weird. So yeah, those are like the questions that that just like struck me in my tracks that like really made me think like, what are you like really? Did you just ask that? Yeah. Let me know what other like ridiculous questions you've been asked or things that you just going like, really? Did you just say that? Yeah, it's funny. And also like so side note, my one of the jobs that I did, right? After so the deaf person had was married to his wife doesn't speak English. So they had to like there was a whole different and she didn't sign. But they found a way. And then at the end of the appointment, the gentleman said, "Okay, please tell my wife, tell the other spoken interpreter to tell my wife that that bag of rice I bought needs to last for a month because the rate at which it's going, we're only gonna get it for a month." So I voiced it and then told the spoken interpreter and then they now translated it and then the person, the officer who actually booked us said, okay, we're not doing marital whatever here. Like you guys have to go. I'm like, but it was just the funniest thing. It was like, okay, we finished the appointment now, but I have one more question. So the person was like, okay, yeah, yeah. Just tell my wife that the bag of rice I got is for a month. And then when it got relayed, they're like oh no, no, okay, we're done. We're done. We're all just like we finished what we're here for. You go figure out. It was just it wasn't ridiculous in my sense in that one. It was just funny. So yeah. If you want me to do the funny ones, I can share that too. But it's just like, yeah, that crack that always like just oh, it warms my heart like how you find love and you communicate in your own way. And when you have the opportunity to share, you like just tell, just do, just do that. And it just, yeah, it works. So yeah. So this is moving on from the series of ridiculousness. That's the one that I've been asked in my career. Till tomorrow, catch you up. Bye for now.